So look, right, this time I was talking to my kids about yesterday. Alright, so I remember a long time ago, people used to be like, you need to forgive this person, you need to forgive, you need to forgive. And I always used to be like, how? Like, just forgive, just repeat these words after me. Like, even being in church, and they like, just repeat these words after me. I forgive you, such and such, such and such. So I'm like, I can't say that because I'm going to feel the same way tomorrow. And on top of that, like, I never knew exactly what it meant to forgive. Like, how? People say that all the time, but they don't give you the steps. They don't say, this is how you forgive. Nobody, I don't want to say nobody, because probably people out there say that, but I'm going to say in my journey, I never had nobody to stop and be like, okay, this is what you do right here, and this is how you forgive. Forgiving is releasing, you know what I'm saying? Releasing, finding a reason. Nobody went into all of that right there. How do I release? Like, literally, that's some hard shit. And a lot of people don't convey that. A lot of people don't, you know what I'm saying, break that shit down, like what it means to forgive. Like, how do I forgive? That was the question I always had. It's not that I never wanted to forgive. It's that I ain't know how. What the fuck I'm supposed to do? Like, you telling me to just say these words right here, and that means that I'm releasing the shit from somebody. Like, I'm releasing my resentment and shit like that. Nobody was telling me that shit. It took me in my own journey and really wanting to move on from certain situations and stop harboring the resentment and the anger and the, you know what I'm saying, the frustration and the hurt from the things that was done to me. And also not wanting to feel like a victim. Like, that's important to me. So me and my own journey, the way I forgive, this may work for somebody else, it may not. But what I do, I break down the situation. Whatever it is that I know I need to release, I break that shit down. I'm talking about to the T. I figure out what the fuck happened. Alright, first, what happened? Why it happened? I mean, why it happened? Okay, why it hurt? Okay, it's not gonna be in order. But these are some of the steps. What happened? Why it happened? How it made me feel? Why it made me feel that way? What's the underlying issue of why I feel that way? How else? Yeah, what's the underlying issue? Like, yeah, how I feel, what happened, what lesson is there to be learned in this situation? What lesson? That is very important. What lesson is there to be learned, or how did this thing help you grow? Whether it was a good lesson, a bad lesson, whatever. How did this thing help me grow? That's why I don't hold resentment. Now, I do find myself holding resentment sometimes. I'm not perfect. And when I find that shit coming back up, because it's a constant work with forgiving people, yo. Forgiving situations, just forgiveness. It's a constant work. That's not something, the same way that shit was put on you, and it was on you for however long, whether it was years or months, weeks, days, whatever, hours, whatever. However, it was...
In 2 miles.
Okay, stop telling on me, bitch.
Toward Richmond.
Anyways, however long it's set on you, right? That shit not gonna come off you overnight. You gotta soak in that motherfucker. Meaning, sometimes you're gonna have to repeat the steps over and over and over again in order for you to fully be able to release it. That's like taking some dye out of something. Like, you color your hair one way, and then you trying to strip the color out of there, right? It changed the thing to this color right here, but now I'm trying to get this color off of it. I don't want this color on there no more. So what do I have to do? Like, I'm gonna speak on me, like doing wigs and shit, right? You bathe in that shit in whatever, baking soda and Ajax and what else we will be using? Even if it's just like the color strip shit, you're having to repeat them steps sometimes to get the stain all the way out. Meaning that color seeped in there so much that it did not just take one step at one night, one time. You know what I'm saying? It was a process. And that's the same thing it is when it comes to forgiveness. You gotta repeat the steps over and over as many times as you need, because somebody can tell you, hey, you gotta soak this wig 2 or 3 times before the shit come out there really stripped of the color. But then sometimes it may take people 5 and 6 times. It depends on...
Use the right 2 lanes.
So you can't go off of what somebody else is, but you do need to repeat the steps. Excuse me. You do need to repeat the steps and shit. So Don't feel bad when you feel like, oh, well, I'm not, am I supposed to turn right here? Yeah. So I'm not,
take the exit.
I don't feel like I've forgiven all the way. I feel like I haven't, because I used to beat myself up.
Lanes to keep left to merge onto State Route 76 South toward Old 100 Road.
I used to beat myself up because I was listening to other people telling me that I was wrong for still holding on to certain stuff.
Use the right lane to keep
right to merge onto State Route 76 South toward Old 100 Road. Telling me that I was wrong for holding on to stuff, but they wasn't telling me how to release that shit. How am I supposed to release it? So now, like I said, I kind of feel like I got it down packed. Something is flying around in this back seat. I feel like
keep right.
I ain't perfect with it, but I do understand that there are steps. It's a process. It's not an overnight thing, and you have to do that shit over and over and over again. So, yeah, find out what it was, and anytime that you feel that shit coming back up, repeat the steps. What is this? Why do I feel this way? What triggered me? And how did it hurt? Why did it hurt? And fix the thing, get down to the root. You got to get to the root of that shit. I can help you,
Stay in the left 2 lanes.
I might gotta charge you though, because energy exchange, baby. These days, that is very important.
At the next light, turn.
So, anyways, outside of that, repeat the steps. Repeat the steps as many times as you have to until the stain is out. Repeat the steps as many times as you have to until the stain is out. Repeat the steps as many times as you have to until the stain
at the light. Use
the right lane to turn onto Charter Colony Parkway. Move now, because I'm trying to get over, and I know you see my signal light. And you just cruising beside me like we friends, and we not, baby. I don't know you. You gotta move. Okay. But anyways, repeat the steps until the stain is out. All right? Don't beat yourself up for the process. Appreciate the process, because it's all a part of the journey. It is the fucking journey. Like,
turn right. Then
turn left onto Bon Drive. But your purpose is in the journey. Like, so all of that to say, forgiveness is a process. Don't beat yourself up if you feel like you're still holding on to resentment. Don't beat yourself up if you still feel like